this is not new news, but I don't think everybody knows it. But there's like 17 states that said if California eliminates ICE engines, we're going to eliminate ICE engines. 17 states pledged to follow California. So I know that's one of the things that SEMA's doing, not because we think EVs are bad, but because we don't think the state should be the one deciding, right? But Dodge, or Stellantis as it's known today, has come out and said that they won't put anything on the dealer lots in those states that's not a plug-in hybrid. You cannot buy a pure ICE vehicle starting in January from Stellantis in those 17 states.
That's bending.
I don't know why they're doing that, but I mean, it's like, really? My choices are already limited and they haven't even enacted laws yet just because they said they were going to? That's crazy.
Maybe like smuggling cars into new states.
I mean, they're doing away with
I think it said
Charger,
I think you can order them, right? So this is Stellantis doing this. It's not the state doing it. So you can order an ICE vehicle, but
There's just nothing in stock that you can walk in and
they're not going to put them in stock. And I think we'll see a lot of those 17 states go away and say, now that we're serious about it, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, they're wild times. I wonder, all this talk about the electric stuff, what's behind the scenes on it? Where's the funding coming from when you see all these companies moving towards it, that knowingly that it's not any better from an emissions standpoint? And like you said, I mean, 90,000 miles beyond that before it actually helps.
And it doesn't help very much.
And nowadays, what makes it to that? I mean, the days of, aside from the couple of dually trucks that we've ran for too long that are, coming apart, that got 120, 150K on them, most people don't maintain or keep vehicles for that length of time anymore.
From a Dodge and, well, Stellantis and Dodge specifically standpoint, Dodge is like the friend or guy that we all knew in high school that was whichever way the wind blew, right? It was, oh yeah, I love whatever band. And everybody's, I love... So,
and because then goes super hard in that direction.
It's super hard. I mean, from a company that was making 1,000 horsepower streetcars to be the first one is like, yep, you know what? Pro-Earth, all EVs, no ICE. Yeah, you were also selling like the biggest truck with the biggest motor, right? The biggest cars with the biggest motors. Oh, you think 800 is great? What about a 900? I mean, a Jeep Grand Cherokee with 1,000 horsepower, like that. That was well known as the company that's like, fuck it, put a bigger one in it. Put a bigger one in it.
You get the red eye next, you get the double red eye.
And
Two red eyes.
And then, like a flip of a switch, you know what? I mean, we've got to start worrying about that. Come on. It seems a little disingenuous from that company specifically to go so hard the other direction. Just my own personal opinion.
I think you're probably right. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but anybody can look them up. If you look at the stock value for Tesla and what's called the price-earnings ratio, in other words, how much the company is worth and how much money they make and what the value of the stock is, it's astronomically higher ratios than what any of the guys in Detroit are. So if you wonder what GM or Stellantis is trying to do, I think when I looked at it, GM would go from whatever it is, $10 billion in valuation to $400 billion in valuation if they just had the Tesla ratios. And Tesla has those ratios because they're seen as being a super clean company and a leader in the future. And, it just seems obvious to me they're just chasing the stock value.
Yeah,
they're not trying to change the world.
All of them are dirty.
Trying to get their stock to go up.
You look at GM and Ford, though. I think both of them are like, they're kind of like the players. They're kind of like, yeah, baby, like I only have eyes for you, on the ICE stuff. Then over here, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna build this fucking thing. Only this, yeah. I mean, 750 horsepower twin turbo, no problem. Oh, I mean the Mustang Mach-E, yeah. I mean, we care about the world. Oh yeah, new GT40. At least
they're playing in all ponds.
They're playing in all ponds, right? And then Dodge is like coming up. Oh yeah, fuck it. We're gonna go all the way this way.
2 feet in either puddle, whatever.
Yeah, 100%. At least try to play to all sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or have, like you said, at the end of the day, it's capitalism. Have options for the public. Let the public decide. If 5 years go down the road and nobody's buying the new C8, Z018 twin charged whatever it is, and everybody's buying a Chevy Cruze, and shareholders, have to make a decision and they have to go in a certain direction. But I don't think it's going to happen. Instead of Dodge being like, we're going to make the decision for you. Think about how much stupider people are going to be, though, if they only were driving EV cars for the next 20 years. They don't ever have to do anything. No thinking for themselves whatsoever. I'm not saying it's if it was the only option, people will take for granted the things you have to do in a normal car, the way we grew up, the things you have to do with driving a vehicle, putting gas in it.
Yeah,
Look,
when you
me and
grew
him,
up,
we
you had
have
to-
to put gas in our vehicles, right?
I eventually do when it runs out.
When it gets on E, you have to find a gas station and put gas in your vehicles. It's all you run into the nicest people.
Dude,
at
I don't know.
gas
I mean,
stations.
you want to talk like you could say that. That's a great argument, right? But I grew up and with my mom and dad driving a late '80s Corvette. Dad probably had a couple cocktails. Both of them are smoking cigarettes. I'm sitting in the back, under that little convertible top area, that little well back there.
It's not a seat.
Maybe not. Maybe they're not getting stupider. Today it's like you like to think we're talking about like nostalgia. Yeah, it was cool. Like back in the day.
This comes from a guy with an electric leaf blower, though. I can't listen to anything